So guess what? Here we are again. The Republicans have to govern. And now they're being handcuffed because all those bullshit promises they made to their base, now they have to put up or shut up. So here's Paul Ryan. So they want to repeal the ACA, which is Obamacare.
Jeez.
It's funny that people don't even know those are the same thing.
Yeah, right.
So the ACA and Obamacare are the same thing. They voted, 36, 40, 50 times to repeal it in the House, knowing that they had the benefit of Barack Obama as president who would veto it. So it wouldn't go anywhere. So they could pander to their base, say they want to repeal the ACA, but knowing Barack Obama would save their ass. Well, now Donnie Tynahan's is president. And he wants to repeal it too, although he's promised to give health care to everybody. And he's telling the Republicans to be careful when you repeal the ACA to make sure that you have a replacement immediately. Donald Tynahan said it should be repealed and replaced at the same time. Well, guess what? They don't have a replacement. They've had 8 years to come up with a replacement, and they don't have a replacement for it. You know why? Because the original Obamacare is their plan.
Ha!
That's what happens when Barack Obama proposes a right-wing fucking plan. That's what happens. We never are going to get the left-wing plan, which everybody knows is the solution, which is single-payer Medicare for all, like the rest of the goddamn industrialized world. Hey, let's bring America into the 20th century. That's what we're supposed to do with healthcare. Everybody else has figured this out but us. So when Barack Obama, he didn't even give us a goddamn public option. Public option fixes all the problems. Remember how Barack Obama kept harping on that public option? Public option had almost an 80% approval rating when it was being proposed. 80%. I remember that. And guess what? Barack Obama never brought it up again. In fact, he worked against the public option, Barack Obama, just like a Republican tool would. Barack Obama is the one who denied you. They had complete control of government and a filibuster-proof Senate, and Barack Obama went to Dennis Kucinich's district, and he told his constituencies to primary him because he's standing in the way of the ACA. No, he was standing up for the public option, and Barack Obama gave up and he gave in. He never intended to give it to you. So now we're at a town hall with Paul Ryan and CNN. They have to govern. This is where it all implodes for them. And if the Democrats play it right, in 2 years, they take control of Congress and Senate because there's never been a more hated president in the world than Donald Trump. And guess what? The Congress's numbers historic lows. Their moldy cheese has higher ratings than the Congress, okay? So if the Democrats could get out of their own way and get rid of fucking Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi and all those jagoffs who are in the pocket of corporations and go back and work for working people, they could have an amazing wave and take over. They are trying as hard as they can to fuck it up. But let's go watch what happens to the Republicans now that they have control. This is what happens.
I was a Republican and I worked for the Reagan and Bush campaigns. Just like you, I was opposed to the Affordable Care Act. When it was passed, I told my wife we would close our business before I complied with this law. Then, at 49, I was given 6 weeks to live with a very curable type of cancer. We offered 3 times the cost of my treatments, which was rejected. They required an insurance card. Thanks to the Affordable Care Act, I'm standing here today alive. Being both a small business person and someone with pre-existing conditions, I rely on the Affordable Care Act to be able to purchase my own insurance. Why would you repeal the Affordable Care Act without a replacement?
Oh, we wouldn't do that. We want to replace it with something better.
Ah, God! They want to.
Oh, we wouldn't. We want to. It's just that there isn't anything else, and we've only had 8 effing years to come up with something, and we didn't because the thing we were supposed to come up with, Barack Obama already goddamn did it. And that's the problem with what a Democrat starts his argument from the middle of his opponent's position. That's exactly what happened when Barack Obama, instead of proposing single payer for everybody, and then the Republicans countering with ObamaCare, which they thought up, and then they meet in the middle with a ObamaCare and a public option, we got jack shit. We got a shitty a Republican answer, corporate-friendly giveaway to the insurance companies and big pharma is what we got because people's premiums have been, there's no cost controls. They knew there were no cost controls. It was goddamn the shittiest Band-Aid ever, which goes to show you how shitty things were. And right now, they are stuck governing, and he doesn't have anything. He doesn't, they don't, what are they going to come up with? They've had 8 years. They're going to come up with a plan in the next 5 days? They got no fucking idea what to do. So their hands are tied. So let's watch the rest of this because the guy who asked this question knows exactly what he's doing. He's from politics. He said he worked for the Reagan, I don't know who the guy is. He said he worked in the Reagan administration. So he knows exactly how Paul Ryan is going to try to sidestep this. And he tries to get some cheap applause, and the guy doesn't let him.
First of all, I'm glad you're standing here. I mean, really, seriously.
Can I say?
Ha ha ha! I'm really glad. Ha ha! Everybody's applauding. And so anyway, let's move on. And ha ha ha! You would be fucking dead if I got to do what I said I wanted to do. Ha ha ha! Ha! Really? No, really. You're great. You're alive. And no thanks to me. No thanks to me. Because if we had our way, you'd be dead. And that guy's not going to let him get away with that. Watch this.
One thing, I hate to interrupt you. Can I say one thing? I want to thank President Obama from the bottom of my heart because I would be dead if it weren't for him.
So the whole country sees what's happening. And if they take away 30 million or 35 million people's health insurance, most of those people live in goddamn red states. Most of those people live in goddamn red states. And it will be a political disaster for them to not have something to replace it with. They know that. Guess who else knows it? Guess who else knows it? All the GOP governors. GOP governors fight their own party on Obamacare. Several who expanded Medicaid look to protect health coverage for their own residents. Yeah, because they actually have to govern at the states. They have to make sure their state is taken care of. So this is from Politico. So because Trump has said, we're going to replace it. We're going to repeal it and replace it at the same time. And he's told the Congress to be careful how they do it. This is because Trump is on record as saying we're going to cover everybody. He's on record as saying that many, many times. And I showed you the video of him on David Letterman. Go look for that video. Him on David Letterman talking about how great healthcare is in Scotland, where they have universal health coverage, single payer. Isn't that something? He talked about how you go there, it costs $10 to go. You go to the doctor with a broken arm, it's $10. And everybody gets treated. And so that's a billionaire sitting there telling you how good healthcare is somewhere else. So Donnie Tynahan's on record as saying that, and now they don't know what to do. So get this. So Trump's push comes at least 5 of the 16 Republican governors of states that took federal money to expand Medicaid are advocating to keep it or warning GOP leaders of disastrous consequences if the law is repealed without a replacement that keeps millions of people uncovered. So this is their nightmare. They actually have to govern now. They actually have to make people's lives better. And you know they're not gonna, and I know they're not gonna. And just like I said, everybody's gonna, all the Democrats are now coalesced against the repeal of the ACA. They get to now grandstand and look like they're really trying to help people, even though we're going to talk about how they fucked this up by not voting for Bernie Sanders' bill to import drugs from Canada. That's how craven the Democrats are. They're already screwing it up. They could have went on record and made everybody's drugs cheaper, and they didn't. That's another video. We're going to get to it. Back to this article. The governors include Charlie Baker of Massachusetts, Rick Snyder of Michigan. Rick Snyder. Could there be a more craven right-wing asshole than Rick Snyder of Michigan? No. And he's against repeal of Obamacare. Oh, wow. John Kasich of Ohio, and Asa Hutchinson of Arkansas, and Brian Sandoval of Nevada. I can't even say his name. That guy sounds like he should be driving a Cordoba with rich Corinthian leather.
I think Sandoval and was a separate word.
Sandoval. That's it. Sandoval. And those things, that's what it was. Those got squished.
Good thing Alexa's here.
That got switched. It's Sandoval, right? Okay.
But
All
you
right.
did a pretty good job of pronouncing
So here it is. Just like I said, now they're going to start doing unpopular stuff. It's going to split the party. Hey, turns out it's not Trump splitting the party right now. It's their own goddamn stupid bullshit pandering that's splitting the party right now. Why do they want to appeal? Repealing the ACA doesn't make anyone's life better. And they know it. And the people who have it know it also. So this is how we could take back our country, because they're such colossal fuck-ups at governing. They can't help it. You know, when they impeached Bill Clinton, everybody knew, polling told them that it was highly unpopular with the country, but it was very popular with their base. And remember, Republicans pander to the base and Democrats mock their base, right? They're still doing it. So, and guess what? The Republicans did it anyway, so they can't help themselves. They self-sabotage, just like the Democrats are also doing. They can't help themselves, so they'll probably hurt themselves time and time and time again. Donald Trump said he was going to drain the swamp. Well, he did, and he found his whole cabinet sitting at the fucking bottom of it. So now people see it. They see the GOP for what they are, and so now the Democrats can take over. Watch for them to fuck it up. Hey, we're doing another live Jimmy Dore show January 30th. That's a Monday night, 8 p.m. in Burbank, California. There's a link for tickets right underneath here. Click on the link. We'll see you January 30th for the next live Jimmy Dore show.